Hey guys, it's Eric, and my video today is called All Hail Our Fearful Leader. Now, we're used to hearing that statement, like all hail our fearless leader, right? So why am I doing a video about fearful leaders? Because there is this preconceived notion that to be a true leader, you have to be somebody who's standing tall and sticking your chest out and being proud, and nothing can stop you, and you're not afraid of anything, and you can bust through walls just by looking at them, and this bunch of BS like that. And the fact of the matter is that by and large, most human beings are afraid of something pretty much all the time. It's just how we're built. Matter of fact, matter of fact, it's necessary. There always has to be some sort of new challenge or whatever. That's part of life. And there's a bit of fear, and sometimes there's a little tiny bit of fear, and sometimes there's a big ton of fear. But fear is necessary, and I'd say it's a necessary component of a great leader because it keeps them honest. So, a little, let me tell you a story that I think relates to this. A number of years ago, I've studied 11 different martial arts systems, and when I began my studies of a system called Wing Chun, the teacher that I came in under, he it ended up like he was renting out a room in a dance hall, and so or dance studio, I should say. We went in there and I'd seen videos of Wing Chun, I'd read about Wing Chun, I pretty much thought, I understood how Wing Chun worked. And yet, when I got in there, we all put on pads and everything else like that, and we just basically beating the crap out of each other. And I remember, I'd been there for several weeks and going, I was bruised up, and I was like, I'd already studied a number of different martial arts, so I had an understanding of what the hell I was doing. And I said, this doesn't seem like the Wing Chun I'm used to, or that I was ready for, expecting. And what it turned out to be was that the instructor himself, his instructor in Wing Chun, he had never reached black belt. His instructor had moved away, like, a couple hours away. He had never continued his studies under that person. He had never found a new teacher. He just decided, he was only 2/3 of the way to his black belt or whatever. He just decided he would start teaching what he knew of Wing Chun, and that had been 14 years without him ever having a teacher. So what had been maybe the beginnings of a great Wing Chun training turned into him. He was a big guy, and he just, I guess, started using his strength and his physique and everything. And Wing Chun is the exact opposite. Wing Chun was designed by a woman, so it was meant to be angles and energy behind movements, and not smack smack smacking the crap out of each other. So what that tells me, or what that showed me, and when I looked at all of the other teachers I'd ever had, all of my martial arts teachers, no matter what their rank, they had also always had teachers, and they'd always been learning new things. So even the old 95-year-old grandmaster of whatever system, and I've worked with a number of grandmasters, thankfully, these guys were always studying something under somebody else. So even as a black belt, or the 10th black belt, or the top guy in their system, they went somewhere else and purposely sought out to be a white belt under somebody else. Why? Because they understood that there had to be this point in their life where they weren't in control. They understood that the more that they grew, themselves, the more they could bring back to what they were supposed to be a master at. It's the same thing for being a leader. That fear, that idea that I am not allowed to be afraid, I am the leader and I am the one who has to always be strong, it actually cripples you as a leader. It's not your job to be perfect. There is no such thing. And when you're trying to be perfect, you actually take your mind off of the people or the situation you're supposed to be leading, and you're putting it onto your ego and how do I look, and not coming off the wrong way or whatever. So as we evolve as leaders, there's always going to be that fear. So the thing is, you become a leader, you don't know what you're doing in a certain situation, you do it long enough that, okay, you start to become comfortable, even confident in that situation, and now all of a sudden you're called to a higher calling, a greater calling. But that puts you from knowing everything back to knowing nothing. And so that fear is going to come up over and over again. It's my feeling that ultimately what we're really trying to do is we're trying to get back to our full power, our true power that we're born with, and that's conditioned out of us. So every time that you make a step forward, it's like peeling a layer off of your conditioning. And all of a sudden, when you peel that layer of conditioning off, all of a sudden all the old fears and all the old everything start to come out. So it's funny, you're going to keep advancing, the more you advance in your business, in your life, etc., the more fear you're gonna keep, new fears and new fears and new fears. But be looking forward to the new fears, because that means you're moving on to a new level of leadership, and thus your business should also be growing and your team should be growing right along with you. So, what am I here to basically say? I'm basically here to say that if you are a leader and you're afraid, it's not only okay, it's expected. It actually makes you a better leader. So don't worry about, standing out there and thumping your chest and I know everything and everything, and all that BS. The main thing is that you are focused on the good of your people, that you are leading, whatever size and team type of team that might be, and that you're working for their best and highest outcomes. And then that way, that's all you have to do. You just have to stay true to that. And then, yes, is there going to be fear? Yes, that's okay. Go through it as you do with any other kind of fear and keep moving forward. That's what will make you a great leader, caring about your people and dealing with the fear, just like every other kind of human being on the face of the earth. All right? Anyway, hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.